Hi there guys, I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech, and in this video, I'll be unboxing and reviewing the Asus Zenbook Duo. Few weeks ago, I've already made a video on the Asus Zenbook Pro Duo, and that's like a complete top-end variant for this Asus Zenbook Duo with a few additional features. If you want to know more information about that laptop, link for that is in the description, do check it out. Now with that said, let's come back to the Duo itself. So guys, here's the box. Just like most of Asus laptops, on the front it says "In search of the incredible" Asus branding on the front, and on the side, there are some more specs on the other side. Finally, on the back, once again we have some more specifications and pricing information. By the way guys, this laptop starts from 1,12,000 rupees on Amazon and about 1,10,000 rupees on Flipkart. This is the top end variant, and there is a tiny bit of price difference from both online stores, and you might also be able to get it at a slightly cheaper price if you buy it in the retail store. Now this is the top end variant when it comes to the Asus Zenbook Duo, and there is a cheaper variant as well. Once again, links for all that are in the description. Now let's open the box. Inside we have a smaller box which has the laptop itself. Let me just put that aside. In the side cardboard pocket we have a sleeve which looks beautiful. Now let me just put that aside and come back to the laptop itself. On the top it says Asus Zenbook Duo. On the front and back it says simply Asus. On the sides and the back it is completely plain. Now let's open it as well, and here we have the Asus Zenbook Duo. I'll just put that aside. Next we have a small box. Below that we have a slot for the stylus or pen for the secondary screen, which by the way is a touch screen. Now as you can see, it is empty as this is a review unit. Maybe they forgot to put it in. In this small box we have some documentation. Unlike the Zenbook Pro Duo, with this laptop we didn't get a palm rest. I'll talk more about that later. Next we have the power adapter along with the charging cable. Now back to the Zenbook. Let me just open the plastic wrapping. Initial impressions, this Zenbook Duo feels sleek and light, especially when you compare it with the Pro Duo. We have the laptop in celestial blue color with a spun metal finish on the top, which is like an Asus mark. Once we open it up, we get to see the dual screen setup along with the keyboard and trackpad, which are squeezed at the bottom. Now let me just try on this case first. So here's the case. It has a nice creamish color and a nice finish to it. And the flap has a magnet on the inside, so it feels pretty satisfying to open it and close it. On the inside, it has a small pocket for pen drives and memory cards and stuff. Now I'll try to slide the laptop in. It is slightly tight, but it fits pretty well. After some usage, it might become easy. Now let's have a physical overview and check out the most highlighting features. Now at the top we have the spun metal finish, which is like a trademark for Asus. We have been seeing in all other Asus laptops as well. Now once we open the lid, we are greeted with a beautiful 14-inch LED display with Full HD resolution and super slim bezels all around. Asus calls it the Nano Edge display, and the bezels are as thin as 3.5 mm. Now the display is in regular 16:9 aspect ratio, has 90% screen to body ratio because of that slimmer bezels, and also has 178-degree wide view technology. And unlike the Zenbook Pro Duo, this display is a regular display, it's not a touch display. Now above the display, we have the infrared web camera with Windows Hello support. Below the primary display, we have a 12.6-inch secondary display, and that's a touchscreen. Asus calls it the ScreenPad Plus. It is a matte finish while the main display has a bit of a glossy finish. Even this secondary display comes with 178-degree wide view technology. Following that, we get a full-size backlit keyboard and a trackpad. Just like other Zenbooks, keys on the keyboard have 1.4 mm key travel. Now here's a closer look at the trackpad. It has two dedicated mouse buttons right below it. 4-finger smart gestures work pretty fine. Personally, I think the trackpad is pretty small. Anyway, right below the trackpad, there's a Harman Kardon branding. Just like the Zenbook Pro Duo, even on this laptop, secondary display and the keyboard takes up the entire space. And obviously there's no space for armrest. With Zenbook Pro Duo, we also got an extra armrest inside the box, while we didn't get it with the Zenbook Duo. You might have to buy it separately for this one. Anyway, back to the physical overview. On the right side, it has a USB 3.1 port followed by a 3.5mm audio jack, microSD card reader, and the speaker on the bottom side. On the left side, it has a charging port followed by a HDMI port, USB 3.1 Type A port, USB 3.1 Type C port, and finally a speaker on the bottom side. On the back and front, it is completely plain. On the bottom, it has two long rubber feet towards the top and bottom for a bit of elevation and grip. And in between these two, we have this foldable stand to elevate the laptop even more than what the hinged mechanism does. It also has an inlet under the foldable stand along with few stickers. On the inside between the two displays, there's a lineup of cutouts for air inlet. Now for the internal specifications, this laptop sports an Intel Core i7 processor with NVIDIA GeForce MX250 GPU 16GB of RAM and 1TB of SSD. It will be running Windows 10 Home Edition right out of the box. As for battery, it is a 70 watt 4-cell lithium polymer battery, and according to Asus, it can last up to 22 hours without the secondary display and almost 16 hours with the secondary display on. It still has Asus Sonic Master stereo audio system with surround sound and a smart amplifier for maximum audio performance. It has array microphone with Cortana and Alexa voice recognition support as well. It also has Intel Wi-Fi 6 with Gigabit Plus performance and Bluetooth 5.0. Now these aspects are pretty similar to the Zenbook Pro Duo. Now this laptop has a thickness of 1.99 centimeters, that's about 0.78 inches, and weighs almost 1.5 kilograms. That's exactly 1 kilogram lighter than the Pro Duo. And as I said while unboxing, it feels pretty light and sleek, especially when you compare it with the Zenbook Pro Duo. Now for the review in terms of design, it has the same old metallic finish and circular design on the top, just like all other Zenbooks. At this point it gets pretty boring. Just like all other Zenbooks, it's pretty easy to open even with just a single hand. That's something I always love. But once again, even with this Zenbook, just like the Pro Duo, hinge design is slightly different and it elevates the laptop more than the regular one. When you're using the laptop on a flat surface, this hinge mechanism helps with better air circulation, and it also raises the keyboard for comfortable typing. To elevate the laptop even further, we got this foldable stand. You can just fold it and clip it to the magnet and it creates a bigger height. Now the keyboard feels pretty good to type on, gives a soft yet clicky feel, and the keyboard is also backlit, so it's gonna be pretty convenient to type even in low lighting conditions. It's kinda okay to use it on a table or a flat surface, especially because it doesn't have an armrest, but it's pretty hard to type on your lap or use it like a regular laptop. So that's the biggest downside for this laptop. Next we got the trackpad on the complete right side corner, and as I told earlier, it is pretty small. It is a glass surface and it is pretty smooth, even the Microsoft gestures work without any issues. Anyway, for me, after a bit of usage, it still feels very small and I would definitely recommend a wireless mouse. Now when it comes to the displays on this laptop, they are just awesome. The primary display has pretty small bezels all around, it's pretty sharp, viewing angles are good, and color reproduction is also pretty great. Even the secondary display looks pretty crisp and you can use it as a dedicated secondary screen. Just like the Pro Duo version, even the secondary display has a matte finish to prevent the glare from the ceiling lights, so that's a pretty good thing. Now the secondary screen on this laptop can be used as a dedicated secondary screen and just you can use it like that, but still Asus has bundled in a lot of cool features to make it more fun. First of all, it's a touch screen, so you can move things around with just touching it. Next we can also write on it using a pen. You can convert whatever you've written to text. Besides that, we can also bring in windows from the primary display to the secondary display. There are multiple ways to do it. You can just drag and drop them, use keyboard shortcuts, or even use shortcuts from Asus. On the secondary display, there's a button on the left corner, and if you tap on it, you get a lot of options and a list of applications that support the secondary display for some extra options. So among all these options, we have something called Capture, which helps you to save currently opened apps in both the screens or a single screen, and then later, with just a tap, you can open all those applications exactly in the same place. It kinda feels like the multi-window features from the Samsung phones. It's a pretty cool feature and can save you a lot of time. This Zenbook also has the face unlock feature and it is pretty fast. Surprisingly, it was pretty fast even in low lighting conditions. Now for the speakers, they are not super loud but definitely usable in a small silent room. Here's a quick preview. Now when it comes to performance, everything was snappy and I didn't notice any lag even while doing some heavy multitasking. Now this laptop has the latest and greatest Intel processor along with an SSD, so for all the normal tasks, it is and it should be very smooth without any hiccups whatsoever. And in that aspect, it definitely delivers. Now finally, when it comes to battery life, once again it was pretty good. I didn't do any heavy tasks, I didn't play any heavy games or rendered any videos on it. But for normal usage like checking mails, messages, social, watching some videos, movies, it was pretty good. And just like Asus said, when I use two displays, battery was draining slightly more faster than when I used just the primary display. So guys, to conclude, if you're not into gaming and you want something very light, sleek, comfortable, and especially you need that extra space, I can definitely recommend you this laptop. For gamers and power-hungry users, and especially if you're on a budget, check out Asus TUF series laptops and Asus ROG series laptops. By the way, if you're planning to buy this laptop, definitely get an armrest, if possible directly from Asus itself. You can get more information about that from Asus website. So guys, that's pretty much it for this video. Thanks for watching. If you're planning to buy this laptop, use the link in the description. It always helps the channel. And if you want us to make any specific video or if you have any questions, tweet out to us with the hashtag AskGreedyTech on Twitter and we will try to make it as soon as possible. I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech signing off. Have a nice day.